For decades, these massive steel fortresses stood as icons of human engineering, extracting the lifeblood of our modern world from deep beneath the ocean floor. But today, these billion-dollar giants have finally fallen into a deep silence. Their long mission is over, and the era of extraction has come to an end. Standing trite against the elements, this structure weighs over 40,000 tons, containing enough raw steel to build at least 5 full-sized Eiffel Towers. It is a mountain of metal, abandoned in one of the most hostile and unforgiving environments on Earth, waiting for its final journey to begin. Now, one of the most complex engineering challenges in human history starts. The high-stakes journey of deconstruction, transportation, and ultimate industrial rebirth. The last lights flicker out, leaving the corridors dark. What was once a buzzing hive of energy is now a hollow shell of iron and memories. To remove such a behemoth, engineers must first face the abyss. The battle begins where the sun never reaches, deep beneath the churning surface waves. Engineers deploy advanced remotely operated vehicles, known as ROVs, to act as the eyes and hands of the crew in the crushing depths below. These robots must navigate a maze of steel to sever the umbilical cords of the rig, ensuring every connection to the earth is safely detached. Every single cut must be surgical and precise. A single mistake in these high-pressure conditions could lead to catastrophic equipment failure or environmental damage. We are effectively neutralizing a sleeping giant, making sure that not a single drop of oil or chemical residue escapes into the pristine marine ecosystem. Engineers monitor every psi of pressure from the surface, balancing the internal forces of the structure before the final disconnection can ever take place. Coordination is key. This subsea phase is a silent, high-tech dance of machines, paving the way for the most dramatic lift in the offshore industry. The foundations are prepped, the wells are sealed with cement, and the giant is finally untethered from the seabed, ready to rise for the last time. With the subsea work complete, the stage is set for a feat of strength that defies the laws of gravity and the power of nature. Enter the Pioneering Spirit, the largest construction vessel in the world, designed specifically to lift entire oil platforms in a single breathtaking movement. This is the Megalift. We are about to move 40,000 tons of concentrated steel in a single breath, using pure hydraulic power and precision. The precision required is staggering, as a few centimeters of error could lead to a catastrophic collapse of the entire structure and the vessel itself. This is not just logistics, it is a symphony of extreme physics. The massive weight is transferred from the ocean floor to the ship's deck. As the hydraulic systems roar, the giant is borne again onto the water, separated from the legs that held it steady for over 30 years. Thousands of tons of seawater drain away, revealing the hidden underside of the platform, covered in decades of marine growth and historical fatigue. Securing the load is a race against the weather. Every second the platform is suspended, the risks grow, but the crew remains focused and calm. Once locked down, the structure becomes part of the ship. The journey to the coast begins, leaving behind only the submerged jacket in the distance. This voyage marks the end of the rig's offshore life. It is no longer a producer of energy, but a massive source of premium industrial material. Navigating such a top-heavy load requires expert seamanship. The captain must calculate every wave to ensure the 40,000-ton cargo remains perfectly balanced. Approaching the dismantling yard, the scale of the rig becomes even more apparent when compared to the surrounding landscape and the nearby towns. The destination is a specialized facility designed to deconstruct these giants piece by piece, maximizing recovery while minimizing every possible environmental impact. The arrival is a major event. Teams of engineers and recyclers stand ready to begin the next phase of this incredible industrial transformation. Safe in the harbor, the rig is grounded for the first time since it was built. Its days of floating on the tides are over. The fortress has arrived at its final destination. Now the process of carving this steel mountain back into raw resources can finally begin. Back on shore, the fortress is stripped of its glory. A massive hydraulic shears and high-temperature torches begin the systematic and violent dissection. It may look like pure destruction, but this is actually a masterclass in precision recycling. Every beam and every bolt is carefully categorized. The goal is to leave nothing behind but memories. We peel back the layers of technology to reach the core materials hidden within the structure. Nothing is wasted. Copper, aluminum, and rare alloys are separated from the bulk steel to ensure that every gram of material can be reused. The sound of metal on metal is deafening. This is the industrial heartbeat of the recycling yard, where the past is broken down to build the future. Hazardous materials and high-value electronics are handled with extreme care, ensuring that the recycling process remains as clean and safe as possible. Piece by piece, the silhouette of the rig disappears from the skyline. It is a slow, methodical process that requires months of hard work. The engines that once powered this floating city are now being prepared for a new life, either as refurbished units or high-grade scrap metal. Every spark represents the release of the energy that was once locked into this steel, now being freed for a different purpose. The volume of material is immense. Thousands of tons of steel are processed every week, destined for the great melting pots of the industry. Gravity helps the workers. Carefully planned cuts allow massive sections to fall safely where they can be further processed by smaller machines. Efficiency is measured in tons per hour. The faster the material is sorted, the sooner it can reach the furnace for its ultimate rebirth. Under the lights, the work never stops. The transformation of 40,000 tons of steel is a 24-hour-a-day industrial operation. The identity of the machine is finally stripped away. It is no longer the alpha platform. It is now simply high-quality industrial feedstock. The first loads of recovered metal leave the yard. The journey of the steel giants enters its final and most transformative phase. The end of the oil rig is just the beginning of a new story. The scrap is fed into the heart of a raging furnace. Over 95% of this steel will be melted down and purified, losing its old form to become something entirely new and vital. At nearly 3,000 degrees, the ghosts of the past are This liquid fire is the bridge between the old world and the new. The steel begins to take its new shape. These billets are the raw ingredients for the next generation of human infrastructure and technology. What was once a deep-sea drilling pipe might now become the reinforced skeleton of a new hospital, a school, or a sustainable city bridge. This is the ultimate cycle of rebirth. From the depths of the ocean to the foundations of our future, these steel giants live on. The legacy of the oil rig is transformed into a foundation for a sustainable tomorrow. Every beam carries the strength of its previous life. The material's journey is endless. It could become a vehicle, an appliance, or even the tools we use to build a greener world. In a poetic twist, the very steel that once pulled oil from the earth now supports the blades of a clean wind turbine. Even the parts left behind serve a purpose. The underwater structures often become vibrant artificial reefs, teeming with new marine life and biodiversity. The ocean returns to its natural state. The scars of industry are healed, and the balance of the ecosystem is slowly but surely restored. We are learning to build without destroying. The circular economy turns the waste of the past into the wealth of the future generations. The pharaohs of the sea have transitioned from the abyss to the clouds, proving that even the largest machines can have a second chance. The journey of the 40,000 tons is complete. From a silent giant in the waves to a moving force in our modern lives, this is the story of the steel giants. A legacy of strength reimagined for a cleaner, smarter, and more sustainable world for everyone. The impact of one project ripples across the entire industry, setting a new standard for how we handle the end of the oil era. Innovation in decommissioning is just as important as the original construction, requiring a unique blend of bravery, science, and environmental stewardship. The lessons learned from these giants will guide us as we dismantle the thousands of other platforms still waiting in the world's oceans. Every piece of metal recovered is a victory for the planet, reducing the need for destructive mining and high-carbon new steel production. The global trade of materials continues, but now it is fueled by the principles of recovery and the wisdom of the circular economy. Humanity's bond with steel is permanent, but our methods are evolving. We are learning to respect the material's history and its future potential. The giants of the deep have taught us that nothing is truly lost. With enough vision, even a phalanx of rust can become a beacon of hope. We are charting a new course for the energy industry, one where the final chapter is just as important as the first. The noise of the hammers and the heat of the torches are gone now, leaving behind a cleaner coast and a more resilient future. A testament to human ingenuity, the steel remains, but its purpose has been elevated from the seafloor to the very heavens above. The quality of the recycled material is uncompromising. It carries the same strength that once defied the most powerful storms in the North Sea. This is the true rebirth, a transformation that turns the heavy legacy of the fossil fuel age into the light and airy promise of renewables. But pride comes from knowing that we have closed the loop. We have respected the machine, the material, and the planet that sustains us all. From the smallest bolt to the largest beam, the pharaohs of the sea are now the foundations of our future cities, living on forever. The story of the steel giants is a story of us, our ability to build, to dismantle, and to always find a way to begin again.